General disclaimer. Welcome to this official presentation on Affiliate Marketing Model 3.0. All presenters are providing their services on a volunteer basis and are active participants in all products they are presenting. Their views and opinions do not necessarily reflect those of the organisation. While we aim for accuracy, errors may occur. All content is for informational purposes only. The information provided is general and not personalised advice. We are not liable for any losses. We provide information and systems, but we do not endorse any purchases of memberships. Your decisions are yours alone, so we advise conducting thorough research. If uncertain, seek guidance from a qualified professional. Attendees accept these terms by continuing to view this presentation. Let's explore affiliate marketing cautiously and curiously. Legal disclaimer. You are viewing an Affiliate Marketing 3.0 official presentation. All products and services, their component parts and operating methods and systems, either provided by or created by Affiliate Marketing 3.0, belong solely to Affiliate Marketing 3.0. All IPs are protected. Anyone copying, distributing, or reselling any Affiliate Marketing 3.0 product without express permission risks serious legal consequences. Any unauthorized broadcasting, live streaming, or social media sharing of Affiliate Marketing 3.0 presentations is strictly prohibited. Downloading and re-uploading presentations without permission violates copyright law and may also lead to legal consequences.
Hello, everybody, and Happy New Year for all of you that I'm seeing for the first time since the new year began, 2026. What a great year it's going to be. And please be mindful that soon, in the next year, we will be hitting 4 years. So now we're in our third year. We'll be hitting 4 years and we'll be halving. So, and if any of that is news to you and you kind of wonder what that's all about, that is what today is. Today is the day you get to get your questions answered. And I have two wonderful people here to be able to go ahead and do that. We have Carl Crypto Dundee, and we have the wonderful, amazing Chantel here to go ahead and facilitate the answers, your question, and getting answers. So please, I hope you have your questions written down because we're ready to get started. But Carl's going to offer just kind of a general opening statement to say, okay, kind of set the tone and maybe cover some issues that have been going on. So wonderful of you all to be here. Oh, yes, by the way, I am Grace. And again, Happy New Year to all of you. Questions away. Carl?
Thank you, Grace. Welcome, Chantal. Glad to see you here too, dear. You should be able to unmute. You're co-hosted.
Yes.
It's a little bit different today. My partner in crime of usual, Joe, is not here. He's in grandparent training. His daughter is getting an ultrasound. She is expecting, so he is out finding out if he's going to be a grandpa or a grandma. And then he's going to a gender reveal party. So he's a bit family orientated today. How are you, Chantal?
Look, I'm good. I just came from my party, and then I saw that that Joe needed support, and I'm really happy to be here. I also know that you guys have a congratulations because I see Finau is here, a new leader. So I'm just joining the party and try to support where I can.
Thank you. I'm gonna just, for now, would you like to unmute and say hi to everyone as our newest Western ranked leader?
Hi, everyone. Good to see everyone here. So
Is that all? You're a little bit unused to all of this responsibility role, aren't you?
Still learning, right?
Good girl. Good girl. Learning's all what we're all about. All right. Well, I will just do a screen swap up on my second screen and go through the updates from Chavez and provide maybe a little bit of explanation and what they mean. The main focus over the coming weeks, though, I will alert you to, is we are going to be focusing on now that on BTCC, now that the miners have migrated from the affiliate marketing platform into the 3FO platform. You can buy them, but don't try and activate them just yet. The minting process hasn't been fully integrated into the COD20 DApp yet, but it's happening. So we're going to focus on BTCC, mining, harvesting, ecosystem, all that sort of thing. Hopefully we'll have an in-depth dive from Chavez either on Wednesday or on Friday. So keep an eye out for any announcements along those lines. Essentially, Susan's here. There she is. Okay. Getting these messages popping up from people. Stop sending me messages, everyone. All right. All right. The big update is that the DO Bank is integrating into the Liquid Pay app for mobile devices. So the big takeaway there is that you've got 60 to 30 days of interruptions occurring. Main thing is that if you're using your virtual card or if you've ordered a physical card, they will stop working as of pretty much today. Yep, today for most of you, yesterday for me, sort of. Once that stops, you should be getting emails. I have seen Lucky's already received her email. I haven't received any email yet. Look, Chantel's nodding her head. Looks like she's received one, maybe. So keep an eye out on your emails. The one that you did your KYC on, that will be where you'll get your notification that everything is going to go topsy-turvy, very, very sudden. The DO Bank integration is very significant. It is going to allow for the sub KYC service to be global. Everybody that's not able to use Liquid Pay at the moment, it will integrate you into the ecosystem on DO Bank, and you'll be able to start along with the rest of us that have had the privilege so far. Chavez was hoping to do a demonstration of the peer-to-peer, but he was also doing the Zoom from a car on the way to the airport to fly to Singapore to sign more contracts for that integration of DO Bank. So he's hoping to do that demo of peer-to-peer next week. The miners and nodes, and as you're probably aware now, are launched in 3FO. It'll be coupon activation rather than the original coding to mint your miners, still being integrated. The nodes, there will be a limit of 200 nodes this year. So if you want to get a node, or if you want to join a syndicate to get part of a node, then that's your limit. 10x is launching first with the peer-to-peer. The full rollout will take about 6 months for the full exchange to be live. So it's going to be a staged implementation of the 10x platform. Very exciting next one, Capital 3. I wasn't going to put my hand up and take the blame for the delay, but Joe sort of hinted yesterday on the Zoom, there was quite a bit of feedback given to Chavez about the complexity of just doing a one-to-one migration of every account from affiliate marketing over to 3FO, and I was probably the most vocal about how complex it's going to be and how much problems it's going to have. And from a technical point of view, the overhead of all of those extra accounts resulting in processing overheads and disk space overheads for 3FO. And he's taken that on board from everybody that gave that feedback, and they're going to implement an aggregation process on affiliate marketing. You'll be able to pull all of the tokens, your current Capital 3 tokens, into one place. And if you've got an account in 3FO, you can just move them all at once to there. If you haven't got a 3FO account, you will need to get one. So reach out to your uplines to at least get an account ready. And then once the aggregation process is available, you'll be able to move over. If you've only got one account, it doesn't really matter. But if you've got multiple accounts, like a lot of people do have, you'll be able to aggregate them first. What else? He said there was 3 things coming in February. It's actually 4. It's LFG migration should be happening, the peer-to-peer should be happening, Capital 3 and DO Bank. So February is going to be a big month. ETF Lite, the yield in BTCC. So originally it was said that you'll be earning Ethereum. Well, you won't be earning Ethereum, you'll be earning BTCC as the reward for staking in the ETF Lite. Once you withdraw it, it'll convert to Ethereum then. Okay. He was asked about Pi update, and he didn't have one handy and needed to consult with his tech people to find out where that's at. So he's going to give that update next week. Overall, the main takeaway that I took from that is that you need to get prepared for your Capital 3 migration. So get an account in 3FO under somebody. Do you have any other thoughts from the updates, Chantel?
No, the only thing is that he was reiterating around the peer-to-peer that they have taken kind of like a lesson from Binance and Bybit, where you have like centralized escrows, but he's creating pairs so that people can actually still negotiate together about the price at which BTCC, for example, can be negotiate. So I thought that was a very nice feature, that there is some negotiation possible, and then they will push through, and that there is still monitoring also. So there will be a margin within which you can trade. So I think that will be really great for the community to get to realistic pricing about the BTCC going forward.
Well said. All right. Any questions from anybody about those updates? Clarification that you might need. Remember, if you want to raise your hand, it's in the React button. Turn your camera on first, then we'll invite you to unmute and ask your questions. That's throughout the entire session, by the way. Looks like everyone's pretty clear. I'm just looking through the guest list. Yeah. All right. Let's just line up a screen. You might have heard Chavez say something on yesterday, my Thursday, that only about 80% of the mined BTCC is actually harvested. And you can actually see that yourself. And so I'll give you a quick look at that. So if you have a look at the COD20 DApp, there's currently a bit over 6 million coins have been mined. Okay? They're actually mined, but they aren't out in the community. If you go to the scan site, this is the smart contract that controls all of the coins, and that's how many coins are sitting in it at the moment. All right. Now, what that means, if we pull up this spreadsheet, all right, so this is a bit of a history that I've been keeping of that process. So currently, we know there's 21 million coins. The balance in that contract at the moment is 19.5 million, which means just under 1.5 million have been harvested. All right. And that means of the 6 millions that are mined, there's 4.7 million unharvested. And he said 80%. It is quite close. It's 76.75%. So at the moment, a lot of people have mined a lot of coins, but they haven't harvested it. And so the last time I took the statistics, about 124,000 coins have been now harvested. And it was 22,000 coins from the previous time I took the statistics and saved them. So there's not enough harvesting going on. That means that the actual circulating supply that's out in the community rather than available to be harvested is quite low. So that's the focus. That's why we need to start getting more harvesting done. What else? I want to go back there. Somebody messaged me overnight about swapping. The swapping's working fine, so it was something the person was doing wrong. But if you're using MetaMask is very different from a year ago. It's now multi-chain, whereas prior, well, when I say multi-chain technology, it was always EVM compliant chains, multi-chain but EVM. But you can now have the Bitcoin, Solana, and something else off the top of my head. So they've restructured how MetaMask works quite a bit. And they've rearranged the accounts and everything else. So when you go in, you will find that you probably don't have all the connections, all of the permissions. So often you will need to go in and make sure all permissions are updated. It used to be this was just a list of things, but now you've got it. It's sort of everything's been twisted around 180 degrees even. So if you want to make sure what your connections to the swap section or let's go to the DApp, you can see I've got 47 accounts connected. So you'll need to edit and then go and set all your connections that you might need. Whereas before there was an add all or update, connect all or something like that. All these subtle little changes are confusing people. Given that we're moving into 3FO, you're going to be doing a lot more in the DApp. I suspect you should be practicing a lot of these tech little things. So again, not only practice, but update. As I said, a lot of updates have occurred. I've said this a few times over the last couple of months. Make sure you've got everything up to date. MetaMask, your operating system, your browsers, double check your passwords, make sure you've recorded all your 12-word phrases several times in several places, secure places. So go through all of these little updates. You can see I've got new Chrome available myself. So I've got an update I need to do, right? I've only just noticed that, which means it's a fairly new update. So if you're using Chrome, you might need that update as well. Okay, what else? I don't want to go into too much today because we have got this upcoming focus on BTCC, so I'm just going to cover a few little things. As I said, minting, you go into the menu eventually. So this will be replaced with your coupon, I assume. I did this a little bit earlier. I switched from this account to this is where is it? This account here, which this is something I've just noticed. There's a little circle there, so it tells me which ones are connected. Right, that's new. I haven't seen that before. That's how fast things are changing. Let's just pick this one, and you'll see this pop up. Okay, this tells me that I need to connect this account, and once I do, this address should update. There it goes. Okay, so that's new as well, and eventually, as I say, this will be switched to using the coupons to allow you to mint your own miners once you purchase them. I saw something recently, and people still make this sort of error. You don't swap B fuel. A lot of people have been thinking you've got to swap B fuel. You purchase B fuel. Right? There is a swap pool, but it is very, very low liquidity. And really, the only time I've ever bothered using it is if I've got too much B fuel lying around and I want to swap it back to USDT. I don't want to actually use it, which probably waters down the liquidity even further. All right. So the best suggestion is use your B fuel and harvest. Don't swap it. And to buy B fuel, you purchase it through the B fuel section, or straight off the purchase from here, which will jump straight to the same location. Those that haven't caught up on this, the address of the dashboard has changed. It's cod20.bitcoincode.technology now. So if you're having trouble finding your cod20 DApp, make sure you're up to date with that. If you've got it saved as a shortcut, make sure you click, this is just Chrome, click and edit the shortcut, make the adjustment and save it. As for 3FO, the products, there's the new addition to the product menu, the BTCC products. And slowly, here they are. You've got your 3 types of nodes, your 3 types of NFT miners. The big thing there is the purchase is done in Ethereum. There is, at this stage, no indication that the 60-40 between old and new asset will be allowed. Once you do a purchase, down here you will probably find your coupons codes. That's all I want to touch on today. You want to add anything, Chantel?
Look, the one thing that I saw some people is they don't understand how much they can harvest, how they calculate how much they can harvest with how much bee fuel. Perhaps you can just show.
Yeah, good tip. Good tip. Let me find one of my.
And Sue's asking to be co-hosted. She's here.
I thought I co-hosted her.
Okay. Well, maybe it was a late message, but I'm just getting a message.
Yeah, she's
Okay.
co-hosted.
Okay.
Just trying to think of where one. I think 27 is one of my. Yep, that's one of my frozen accounts. All right. We'll compare two situations. One where you've got pending profit, if you like, or upside, and one where you've got downside, and the variation, the implications of that. This one's got an upside. So I've currently in this account mined 28.5 coins. The value of that bee fuel I need is $2,100. If I harvest all of those coins, I will have 28 coins worth at this value, 31, just under 3,200. So I'll have made about $1,100 in profit. Now, the calculation has been made. I need that much bee fuel. That is 168,000. That comes from dividing this amount by that amount. So it's 0.0125 always. It's a fixed price. It's a stable token. All right. If you want to do the calculation yourself, that's how much. If you want to just harvest a portion, then you will say, let's say you want to harvest $100 worth, or essentially one coin. You will divide the 100 by that, and that'll give you how much you need to buy to harvest that one coin. If you want to be very accurate, you will divide that by that, and that will give you exactly one coin harvested, if you don't want to do the whole lot. Let's look at the other scenario and the implications. So I think because I don't move my miners anymore, it's a bit arduous, as you'll see in a moment, because I've currently got 146 miners mining. So if I was to move those every week or month, I would be bored very, very quickly. If we had a batch move, if only Chavez was here to listen, if we had a batch move, that would be a very different story. Anyway, you can see $300,000 worth of bee fuel I have consumed, and the current value of those is 209,000. So if I harvest them all and I don't put in new money, I just use current money and circulate through harvest, swap, harvest, swap, harvest, swapped, I would go down in value. But if I was to just say I wanted to harvest $50 or $200 worth, all right, I would divide again that $200 by this amount, and then I would harvest that much. As long as I didn't swap that back into USDT, as long as I held it as BTCC, and then maybe put it into 3FO to stake, then I would be holding those coins. I won't lose that value because they're still the coin. I will then be able to earn yield against it. I'll get some increased value. And when finally that is taken out, I will have hopefully an increased value. Maybe it'll be $200. And by then I'm in profit. And I can go and harvest some more coins and increase my value. So harvesting, as long as you don't swap back to some other token, the value is irrelevant. You've got those coins, they're yours. All right. So that's the two different scenarios where you're on upside and downside. Hope that helps everyone. Anything else, Chantel?
Well, that's absolutely great. So have you been playing around swapping between Red BTCC and Red BTC and BTCC at the moment? Or have you just been focusing on Ethereum and focusing on 3FO work? Because I know that some people have done very well, buying and selling at the right time.
In other words, am I trading? And the answer is no.
Yeah,
I don't have time to trade.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, if you want to, what can you do with your assets? A lot of people ask that question. Well, I've got this. What am I going to do with it? Right? Well, most of my asset is either sitting in one wallet, waiting, and a lot of it has been staked. The rest of it is sitting in the swap pool as a liquidity provider. So you can use it to harvest. You can add it to the liquidity pool. Again, it's 50-50, by the way. So if you've got a boomerang refund of $500, hypothetically, swap half of it, equal value, and put it into the swap pool. And every time somebody else does a swap, you'll earn a portion of swap fee. Currently, brag, I'm the third largest liquidity provider in the swap pool, dwarfed by how much Chavez has got in there. And somebody is just ahead of me, but I'm not sure who. I have a suspicion of two people, but I can see the public address, wallet address, but I can't tell who that is because that's private. Alternatively, you can trade with it, as Chantal has just indicated. You can swap between wrapped BTC and BTCC, or wrapped BTC, or you can just trade in and out of USDT and wrapped BTC, or in and out of wrapped BTCC and USDT. When it goes down, you swap in. When it goes back up, you swap back out again and wait for it to come down again, and just keep riding the up and down cycle.
I think it is for people. I really think that people who've never been trading, learning the swapping, learning to see how you can make from 1 BTCC, 1.2 BTCC by just trading at the right moment, because you're staying within your own system, and because it's simple. There are not many options. It is a good training ground to then later on check in the other systems that we are working with. So it's good finger exercise, I don't know if that's proper the wrong English, perhaps.
Yeah, I guess it is. I've got to touch.
We always say, if you have the experience by making the small steps with a little bit of risk, then at least then it's later on easier to think if it is a bigger picture, So that's, that's for me why I love this dashboard and why I love the BTCC, ecosystem, because it's simple and everybody can do it.
On you, I was going to say, I have a touch screen, so I probably could finger all through that. I much prefer a mouse. It's more accurate than my finger. All right. I think we've covered enough BTCC sort of stuff for the time being, just some foundation stuff. As I said, over the coming weeks, either on Wednesday and or Fridays over a short while, we'll be doing a lot more deeper diving into BTCC, a bit of the history from day one, technology. We'll be discussing moving for new people, moving between wallets and all sorts of things. We will re-emphasize over and over the whole concept of the acronym that Grace came up with, PANT, right? PANT, platform, address, network, token. And it is a pair of pants, okay? Because it applies to both the source and the destination, all right? You have to have PANT on where it's coming from and PANT on where it's going to. They always have to line up. Otherwise, you will, if you send an asset to the network that doesn't support that asset, you're going to be stuck. If you send it to an address that's not correct on the destination, you will lose your asset. It won't be burnt, but you won't be able to get it because you gave it away to somebody else. Case in point, we had somebody query one of the $500 miners that they recently won on the giveaways late last year. Just decided to find out, where the hell is this miner? Well, he gave it the wrong address in the claim form. Somebody else has got that miner, and they know they've got it because they've staked it, they've unstaked it, they've moved it somewhere else. It's currently unstaked, but they did move it. So they know they've got this miner out of the blue. So make sure you got a clear understanding of PANTs, both of them, the source PANT and the destination PANT. All right. Do we have any community questions to deal with? Remember, raise your hand, turn your camera on, and you'll be invited to unmute. And my able security staff, shouldn't really call them staff because that implies they get paid, it's voluntary. One of the co-hosts will ask you to unmute, and we will see your question, hear your question, and maybe give you a sensible answer even. All right, Anne, you can unmute. Yes, Izzy?
Anne, would you like to unmute, please?
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Is it possible for us to use BTTC to purchase a node?
No.
Oh, so we have to bring in fresh
funds either from directly as Ethereum or via a syndicate.
Whoa, that is tough. Thank you.
Yeah. I did ask the question about the 60-40, and the reply that I got was based on the fact that the 60-40 was a consideration to help people use up their boomerang refund.
Oh.
Right? Obviously, that doesn't so much apply now, and it doesn't. It's a new platform. Whether it comes back or not, I can't say, but it would be nice if it did.
Can you advocate for that for us?
I will try.
Thank you.
Because I have sort of already advocated a little bit on that, because there are people that were setting up to buy a node under affiliate marketing, and some had put their BTCC assets in, and they were putting their new stuff in when the last batch of nodes stopped, ran out of stock. So
right.
it is a known issue now. So who knows? Maybe they'll just get a refund of that transferred back to some similar wallets in 3FO. I don't know. But it is known that people still would like the 60/40 opportunity.
Thank you.
Thanks, Anne. Anybody else? Someone who took a deep breath there.
Wait. I have how do you say it? A conceptual question for you, Carl. If there were B-fuel vouchers, do you think people would, and they would be, for example, saying, okay, if you have this voucher, you can at least harvest this many BTCCs. Do you think people would start harvesting more if it was more directly linked to B-fuel than that people have to make their own decision how much to harvest? I mean, I'm looking at what would be incentives for people to start harvesting.
Well, the answer to your question would be based on where that voucher came from. Now, we know that Chavez has considered this game, a Telegram game, where you would either directly earn B fuel or a voucher or a coupon or whatever mechanism he implements. That would incentivize, because they put in it's kind of a proof of work concept. You've done the effort to play that game. You've earned the reward of some form to buy B fuel or acquire B fuel. And if you just sit on that B fuel, there's no point. So you might as well harvest. So yeah, it would incentivize people. He was asked 2 sessions ago by Joe, and he said it's still in the wings, but it's obviously less priority than DO Bank.
Yes,
so it would be a positive move if people could actually go out there and do something and gain some that reward that they can use for B fuel. Yeah.
Yeah. Great. Thank you.
Another option would be the incentive would be to get free miners. Tell them on the marketplace for BTCC, swap it to USDT, buy B fuel and harvest.
Yeah.
That's another option. And it exists in a sense. If you're a new person to 3FO, what we're doing on US Prime Time is, if you're new to 3FO, doesn't matter which team you're in, part of Financial Freedom, our team, the Indian team, the Vietnamese team, you turn up to US Prime Time, you build the numbers up, build the excitement back up again. First time you buy a 3FO pack, come in, let us know. We'll send you the claim form to get a free miner. What you do with it, if you've got miners mining already, convert it into B fuel through that exchange rate and increase your harvesting.
Nice idea. Very nice.
Any other questions, anybody? Where are we at time-wise? 47 minutes. Well, this has gone longer than I kind of thought it would. So it's a good session today. And again, thank you for coming, Chantal.
It's a pleasure. It's nice being with you. Okay, so you just said that you're not moving your miners anymore, but when you were having a smaller amount of miners, what was kind of the number of coins, or what was the point? Did you do it once a month? Did you do it every 50 BTCC? What was your moment that you would move your miners to a new wallet?
Probably once a month, with probably a fair amount of variation. I might have done it 2 months instead of a month. Probably didn't do it less. I probably would have checked to see if there was an upside at that point in time. It was when a lot of people were moving their boomerang refunds in and swapping to BTCC, putting more USDT in and taking BTCC out, which changed the swap pool balance. So there was marginally greater amount of USDT than BTCC, which gave that a bigger value. As it swapped the other way, now the BTCC didn't shrink as fast because it had a higher value, but as the USDT swapped, that's where it came back to a more parity of around $100. And there was just no incentive for me to continue to move them. But as the this is a bit of history, people that are fairly new, as the miners that were given as compensation for withdrawals that people didn't do, as they came online and the hash power went up. This is something I was going to cover later on, but we'll do it now as well. As the hash power went up and the difficulty to mine went up, term that you'll have to come to grips with shortly, and as the value came down and the crossover point for that value of the coins switched, I just really didn't have the motivation to keep moving that many miners around. I don't even move the 100x miner that I have because I know the difficulty of mine. Now, what does that term mean? I hadn't planned to do this today, but I will quickly drag. Okay, so frozen accounts, and there it is. All right. I'm just checking my screen for any information that really isn't of value to anybody else. There's quite a lot of information in this spreadsheet that is obviously only relevant to me. All right, difficulty to mine. All right. The difficulty to mine is not the cost of B fuel. It is the fact that you are competing with every other person. There's 50 BTCC tagged as mined every 10 minutes. They're not released from the smart contract until they're harvested. All right. That 50 every 10 minutes has to be divided against all of this hash power. Hopefully you can see my mouse moving. All right. Now this is approaching 1 billion watts of hash power. Originally, when we first started, approaching 2.5 years ago now, this was only 100 million. Okay. So the difficulty to mine now is about 8 times what it was then. So the 50 coins released or mined every 10 minutes was spread over a smaller base of hash power. So it's now 8 times more difficult, but the cost, the actual B fuel cost to every single person has not changed. It's a fixed price, okay? Because this value doesn't change. That's what the difficulty to mine means. It means that if you want to get those coins, it's more difficult and you have to pay the premium to get them out of the contract as harvested coins. I was going to show you the spreadsheet calculation. Let's see. All right. These figures are a little bit out of date. That's my current hash power. That's the global. You can see it's a bit out of date. So my share of the current hash power at this point in time was just under 0.1%. So that's a daily figure. So each day I was mining 6.5 coins out of the 7,200 from the entire day. Now, if I was to take this figure just to make sure I don't get a format error. So I've lost about 0.01% of the global hash power. Okay, so if I want to build that back up, I go buy some more miners or out of the marketplace, or I buy them out of 3FO. So I'm now under 6 coins a day. I haven't changed my hash power, but the amount of coin that I'm mining every day has dropped under 6 per day. I know some people have got over 1%, over 5%. They're big miners. I don't need to be a big miner because I've got this a quarter of a validator and various parts of node syndicates. So I'm validating, noding, and mining.
Yeah.
But I'm not trading.
Great.
All right. If you turn your camera back on, Cletus sounds very ancient Roman.
Oh, yeah.
What's your question?
All right, so when you're talking about moving miners around, are you talking about some like Epstein type thing or what?
About what?
Like like Epstein moving miners around.
I don't know the reference to Epstein.
You know what I mean? Like you're moving miners to the island and you're moving miners to all these different type of places. Like, or am I like getting this wrong?
No, just moving them from one account to another.
Oh, I thought you were talking about, when you move miners, you find them and then you bring them to island and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, sorry mate, it was a bit of misunderstanding. Oh.
Okay. That sense of humor. We I think that was really a great session, Carl. It's so nice to just hear a different perspective, to see another leader really work, and you are one of the people who are keeping us on our toes, because you're both taking the technical side, you're taking the number side and the community side. So it was really nice to be here together with you today. Joe, thank you for giving this space.
Thank you, Joe. Yes. All right. I will do an outro and we will get into enjoy our rest of the day. Okay, so I need that and click there and bring that up. Okay. All right, just a recap on the outro. Oh, we have another question. I'll deal with this first. Okay, so standard format that you're probably very aware of, but we will reiterate. We have business presentation Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. We have Wednesday update with Chavez, whether it's just going to be pure update or we're going to get some insights into BTCC mining and etc. with him. On Wednesdays, we will find out in due course. And as I said earlier, the peer-to-peer hopefully will be demonstrated the coming Wednesday. This is the Friday session. It's open to all leaders to come along and help to contribute. We will do a recap of the announcements and updates. We will do community support, usually some training. Whether Chavez can join us depends on time, because it's fairly early in the morning for him at 9 p.m. UK. And of course, we finish with the Q&A. And the weekends are now open for you to build your business, spend time with family, watch TikTok. It's entirely up to you. If you have a claim on any of the giveaways that we did mostly last year, or you are joining us on US Prime Time and you've just subscribed, then doesn't matter who you're subscribed under. The protocol is to build US Prime Time back and the enthusiasm. So either reach out to me on my Telegram handle or to Joe on his Telegram handle, or any of your ranked leaders, and they will arrange for a message to us, and we will give you I don't know if you noticed, but there was quite a number of miners there that we can give away. Yeah, I see you, James. Don't worry. I saw your hand. And that will give you a start in the mining. And okay. James, you can unmute and ask your question.
Hi there. So I'm just wondering, with the contacting Joe, in terms of contacting Joe, how long will it take him to respond? Does it depend on what type of question I've got, or does it depend on the circumference of the world and the miners, or what does it depend on?
Depends on you sending him a message.
But I've already sent him multiple and he's not answering.
Okay, well, send me a message.
I think you're scamming us.
And how do you think that? I'm giving away stuff for free. That's a pretty good scam if I think about it. All right, for now.
Okay, Carl, are we doing any training on how to trading on Alpha AI?
That's the reason I rang you the other day. And then you rang me. By the way, you rang me back. I heard the call, but I was on the phone to Steve in Ruben in New Zealand. So I then rang you back, but you didn't ring me back again and again and again. Anyway, the answer is eventually yes. Currently, no. Eunice has done an overview training on the Alpha AI dashboard, but the actual training on the signal mosaics will happen after it's released, because we don't know what signal mosaic looks like yet. We don't know how frequently the signals will be coming out and all that sort of thing. And hopefully we'll all be able to see that beforehand, get familiar, do some of our own, but most likely we will call on Eunice again to do a deeper dive into signal mosaics, because he's much more of a trader than I am. But it will be done, yes.
Thank you.
Okay, I think we'll call it there. Thanks, Santel, and for now for turning up. Thanks, Izzy and Sue, for the support we rely deeply on. And we will be back on Monday with the start of the presentation cycle again, and hopefully there'll be some new presentation or new prime time starting sometime in the next week or two to cover a slightly different region. All right. Thank you all, and I bid you good weekend.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you. Thank you, Carl.